compensation for high school football coach in accordance with Texas Government Code Section 180.007, and public comments regarding the same to order. It is 5:30 p.m. There is a quorum present. Notice of this meeting has been posted in a time and manner required by law. Mr. Jones, would you please call the roll?
Yes, sir. Mr. Cliff Williams.
Present.
Scott Carson.
Present.
Kyle Hickenmeyer.
Present.
Ms. Paulette Traylor.
Present.
Ms. Nikita Lagway.
Present.
Our missing here is Coach Charles Perry. My name is Chad Jones. Thank you.
Board, this is a public hearing pursuant to Texas Local Government Code Section 180.007, which requires the public hearing to be held if any payment is made to an employee or former employee that exceeds the contract amount owed to the employee or former employee. As such, this item has been properly posted and a sign-in sheet has been provided for the public to speak if they so desire. There is an agenda item tonight on the board. We'll consider a mid-year increase of $27,000 for Coach Trent Miller of Willis High School. Willis ISD adopted its budget for 2023-2024 school year on August 17, 2023. Since the adoption of this budget, Coach Miller has far exceeded performance expectations and has demonstrated exceptional dedication and commitment to his students and his team. The continued success of Coach Miller's team has boosted morale throughout the district, and as a board, finds the genuine public interest in rewarding Coach Miller for his efforts in putting in place an incentive for his continued employment with the district. The following information will be provided in accordance with the statutory requirements. Public purpose. If the board approves a mid-year pay increase for Coach Miller, it will serve the public purpose for the district of retaining an employee who has shown incredible dedication to his students and team and has boosted district morale. 2. Proposed payment to be made if the board approves mid-year pay increase in the amount equals to $27,000 a year, prorated for the remainder of the school year, and paid in equal monthly installments to be added to Coach Miller's pay effective immediately. 3. Source of proposed payment: general funds from Willis Independent School District. 4. Assurance of control. If the board approves the mid-year increase, the approval will be set out of terms to pay increase implemented by the district's finance staff. Each member who has signed up to speak in this hearing will be allowed 3 minutes to make your comments. If no one signs up, further board minutes reflect the hearing is offered and no speakers were present to speak.
Is there anyone on the speaking list that would like, that's not on here, would like to speak, or anyone that needs me to remove their name? Thank you.
Our first speaker is Jay Mickens.
Good evening, everyone. I'm here on behalf, I just wanted to speak about just my personal experiences with, my son Jalen Mickens, receiver for the football team. When I was going, through my divorce, and I was looking for a new home, right, for my son, and I chose for him to live with his mother, who lives in Willis, and Coach Miller was a big part of that thought process. I knew him from my football organization, Texas Ponds Elite. His sons played for my organization, and I got to know the man, behind, the coaching on the sidelines. And for me, I knew that if I was going to give someone, full care of my son, I wouldn't have found a better person than Coach Trent Miller. So thank you guys for your time.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Jerry Blair.
Good evening to the board president and the board members. The last 12 months, Willis has made big strides in improving the overall morale of the student body, the community, and the hiring of Jason Glenn set everything in place, and he put a staff together that followed up on his vision. And this is the best that Willis has been in my 60 years of being part of the school system. That every kid is getting an equal opportunity and is reflecting on the field. Thanks.
next speaker is Glenda Hampton.
Good evening to Superintendent Crowe, to President Kyle Homemeyer, and to the other board members. I'm speaking on behalf of the Willis High School Football Booster Club. Just want to say it's a pleasure, an honor to work with a very professional, loving, dedicated, committed professional like Coach Trent Miller. Coming here from a different district in a matter of less than 2 years, have turned a program around tremendously. Not only has he touched the stud athletes, he also touched, and you can show it shows clearly how much he loves all the players, from the freshmen, not just the freshmen, the 7th grade, the 8th grade, the 9th grade to 10th grade, the 11th grade, 12th grade. I speak with him on a daily basis, and he has the community. He wants this community to be a part of what he's doing out there at WISD. In every news media that he speaks in front of, he makes mention of the community. He loves this community. His family loves this community. He puts endless amount of hours into making this program a truly success. As you can see, we're the District 13 undefeated champions, and I definitely believe that Trent Miller is warranted a pay increase. Thank you.
Ms. Hampton. Our next speaker is Derek Gladway.
Hello, good evening to the board. I just want to, Trent, he's been here, the last 2 years. I just want to say, man, he's awesome. To the kids, he's been good to this community. My son is a quarterback, my son, he looks up to him. Like I said, he's been a blessing. I tell Coach Glenn all the time, I appreciate Coach Glenn for hiring him. He's been a blessing to that football team, to the school, and to this community. And that's why we got that trophy sitting up there, because he's a darn good coach and a really good man. Thank you.
Thank you. The next speaker is Kaylee Trotter.
Good evening, everyone. As someone who works at Willis High School along Coach Miller, I just wanted to speak in favor of him and the investment that he has made into our students on campus. He makes sure that our mission of one team, one purpose is shown out every single day by making sure these players understand that they are part of his family. It is not just Lindsay, it is not just Michael or Cole or Sadie. The coaching staff and those players are part of his family too, and that trickles down from varsity, JV, freshman, all the way into our middle schools. So by passing this and allowing this opportunity for Coach Miller to continue to grow his passion here at Willis is also an investment in our kids, because they are wanting to come to school to learn from him. They are wanting to get their grades up to make him proud, and he is making a huge contribution not just to those boys but to the other staff members, and challenging other coaches to be better and do better and invest more into our kids. So, thank you.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Amy McGowan.
Hello. So I'm here just to kind of acknowledge some of the positive things that Willis has going on. I have been a high school teacher at Willis for the last 16 years, and I've been a member of this community for the last 39 years. So I've had the privilege to get to see the ups and downs that Willis has experienced. Just kind of backtrack a little bit, a long time ago, there was a time that Willis was a very proud community. And, whenever I first came back to Willis to teach, there was a brief moment in time that Willis was kind of lagging in that positivity. People kind of had the mindset that Willis is just the Willis way. It's just Willis. And so a lot of the negative things that were happening and going on, whether it be in the school, in the athletic programs, or whatever it might be, people just kind of chalk that up to, it's just Willis. And so that sense of community was kind of thrown out the window. But I've also had the privilege that recently, with the new leadership that's been put into place at the high school, the coaching levels, you know, these types of programs have not only influenced the kids within the school, just at Willis High School, but within the entire district. It has influenced the entire community. You've seen just within the last couple of years that, you know, our football program and their success has kind of spiraled outward and given Willis a sense of pride again. And you don't just see that just in football players, you see that in the classroom academically. You see that in the day-to-day hallways, at the grocery store. You know, Willis has a new sense of pride, and a lot of that has to do with the type of leadership that has been put into place. And Coach Miller is a big part of that. Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have a motion to adjourn? Mr. Williams.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
We have a motion by Mr. Williams, a second by Ms. Trader. Any further discussion? Public hearing is adjourned. Yep. I would like to call the November 8, 2023 regular meeting to order. It is 5:41 p.m. There is a quorum present. Notice of this meeting has been posted in a time and manner required by law. Mr. Jones, will you please call the roll?
Cliff Williams.
Present.
Scott Carson.
Present.
Mr. Kyle Hagemeyer.
Present.
Ms. Paulette Trailer.
Present.
Ms. Nikita Lagway.
Present.
Ms. Administrator, Mr. Charles Perry. My name is Chad Jones. Thank you.
Thank you. The board will now hear comments from the audience only during the public comment portion of this meeting. The public comment portion of this meeting will be no more than 30 minutes in total. Each speaker will be allowed a maximum of 3 minutes to address the board. Groups of 5 or more people who wish to express the same viewpoint on an issue must appoint a representative to speak for the group, and then we'll have 3 minutes to present. Please respect the privacy of others and refrain from identifying students, employees, and other community members by name. I will determine whether the speaker has attempted to solve a matter administratively through resolution channels established by policy. If not, the speaker will be referred to the appropriate policy to seek resolution. Disruption of this meeting will not be tolerated at any time. Per board policy, the board does not respond during public comments. We have 3 people who have signed up to speak tonight. Our first speaker is Diane Hibner.
I have 3 points to make tonight. My topic is accolades, integrity. Number 1, I recently had the opportunity to engage with several members of the administrative staff during a meeting with the Educational Foundation. It was a very productive meeting whereby their expertise and willingness to discuss and provide information was most appreciated. I thank you. Number 2, in discussions with members of the community, it has become most apparent that their choice for the superintendent search was overwhelmingly Thompson and Horton LLP. We hope that this is your selection as well. We believed that this group would provide us with an unbiased evaluation. It was also noted that their reputation is beyond reproach. Number 3, I am referring to my box for number 3. I have been approached by many members of the community regarding the lack of resignation from the board member in position 5. I assured them that I have and will continue to approach this subject in requesting an immediate resignation. My friend Jack has suggested that I put together a sample resignation letter in case the board member in position 5 is not sure as to the process for such a letter. I am willing to share these samples with that person anytime. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Hibner. Our next speaker is Sunday Shibley.
Hi. Tonight I'm speaking about inappropriate books within our district, specifically focusing on a book titled Crank by Ellen Hawkins. As a chairperson on the Montgomery County Education Committee, I find it my duty to address this alarming issue. In the book Crank, it seems as if drugs are being glorified. When reading this book, you will find it has explicit scenes portrayed, such as the description of a boy being sexually assaulted by 2 transvestites. They were also forcing this boy to do drugs while being sexually assaulted. On page 341, you will read about a girl who offers her virginity to a drug dealer for drugs. You will read how she verbally attempted to stop the rape. I'm now going to read from page 341 in the book. I waited for weeks, put up and shut up. Kisses segued to bites, bruises, pain rippled through my body. Brendan, please stop. No, you promised you, I don't say that word, little tease. Off came my shorts, down came his zipper. I realized I was in serious trouble. I'll scream, go ahead. No one will hear you but the dogs and coyotes. Still, I open my mouth. His hand slaps down on it. Those sublime muscles harden. Just relax, you'll love it. My brand new Victoria's Secret shedded, and I felt the worst of Brendan pause, savoring my terror. They all love it. Once the rape is finished, the victim's first words were, "Give me a line," and to be clear, she is talking about drugs. The book not only trivializes these heinous acts, but also portrays them in a way that could be triggering for survivors of rape. Even more disturbing, someone deliberately chose to order this book for Willis ISD. Therefore, a conscious decision was made to get this book rather than being part of a bundle package. Furthermore, the book goes against the religious beliefs and values of many parents in our community. I understand the importance of intellectual freedom. It is crucial to recognize that our students are not yet adults. They are children who need to be protected from harmful content. I do understand that the board members cannot be expected to know every book in the library, which is why I stand here month after month to ensure you are aware that Willis ISD has inappropriate books. I urge the board to reevaluate such materials in our school district. Our library should be a place of learning and growth where students are exposed to enriching and appropriate content that aligns with our values. I implore you to reconsider the impact these books may have on students and to prioritize their well-being and safety above all else. Thank you for your attention and consideration.
Thank you, Ms. Shibley. Our next speaker is Robert Holden.
Good afternoon. This is an attempt to help you see things from a different perspective. And the word I'm going to use "you" is to indicate y'all directly, but also inclusively of all government education. Why have you for years now supported the communist agenda to destroy our country, including yourselves, as was laid out in 1917? I remember in junior high being taught about the Bolshevik Revolution, the Cultural Revolution, the rise of Hitler, Mussolini, the starvation in Ukraine, and even the fall of Rome. I lived through the Tiananmen Square, so I saw that one. Although that was close to 70 years ago, and history was not my thing, I still remember lots of it because I was impressed that hundreds of millions of people were murdered, and that they all followed the same sequence of events, which we now in this country are following. If you've forgotten these, on your DVD is testimony from someone who actually lived through the Cultural Revolution. And in Houston, remember, people called the police for neighbors cutting their grass without a mask. This to me is proof it not only can happen here, but is happening here. Being forced to endure a medical experiment is reminiscent of Joseph Mengele. Never before have I seen Americans showing such open hatred for anyone as we're seeing now with the Jews, especially the Jews. I guess this is DEI in action. These folks are supporting those who kill gays by just throwing them off of buildings. They stone women for wandering around unescorted by a man. They deny women education, and when able, they behead those who will not convert, including Americans, and this is who our kids are supporting. Did these kids not get any world history education at all? They clearly lack American history education, that's obvious. What did they learn? Only how to hate, not to think, not research, and not be happy, and be happy being ignorant, like we're told by 2030, you will own nothing and be happy. With the confirmed entrance of Chinese military special forces and confirmed terrorists across our southern border, why are so many tens of thousands of Chinese still coming, all males of military age? The question is, really, next November, will we have an election? or will we be defending our homes? And who will defend them? Are you teaching these children in a means that they will defend your life, they'll risk their life to do for you? Have you no shame and no honor that you would alter a diploma? Because I see what it to be now, talking to these kids, as little more than a certificate of participation. The review committees are not responsible, the administration is not responsible, they're all your employees, and they follow your directions. Suggestions are, though, also, reject federal dollars, let the teachers teach, take the digital out.
Mr. Holden, thank you for coming tonight.
World War III.
The board will now convene into closed session for the purpose of considering matters for which closed sessions are authorized by Title V, Chapter 551, Texas Government Code, Sections .071 through .129. A, discuss and consider possible take actions regarding contract abandonment of teacher at Brabham Middle School. B, discuss teacher resignations and consider approval of teacher appointments, Texas Government Code 551.074. C, discuss and consider approval of superintendent search firm. D, pursuant Texas Government Code 551.074, consider and discuss resolution related to compensation of high school coach and related matters. It is 5:51 p.m. The board will now reconvene into open session. It is 6:29 p.m. Are there any motions from closed session? Mr. Williams.
I move that we do not find good cause did not exist for Michael Callis to abandon his probationary dual employment contract and authorize our board president to file a written complaint to the State Board of Education Certification.
We have a motion by Mr. Williams, a second by Mr. Carson. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor? Motion carries 6-0. Mr. Williams.
I move that we direct the interim superintendent to execute an agreement with Thompson and Horton LLP to perform the superintendent search for Willis ISD.
We have a motion by Mr. Williams, a second by Mr. Jones. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Motion carries 6-0. Mr. Williams.
I move to approve the resolution to increase the salary of the high school football coach, Trent Miller, as outlined in the resolution, and authorize the superintendent to carry out such administrative duties as necessary to effectuate the same.
We have a motion by Mr. Williams, a second by Ms. Traylor. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Motion carries 6-0.
I do want to say something. I'm sorry, real quick. I missed that. We're one team, one purpose. And I know personally, this ball got dropped with this situation, okay? This coach deserves everything he's getting. He was told he was going to get it, and we got it. And that's what I do know. So thank y'all.
Coach Miller.
Is this thing on? Yeah. This may come to a surprise, but I hate doing public speeches. I do it every Friday night, but I want to thank all of you from the bottom of my heart for believing in me and presenting this opportunity to take care of my family. I know this probably wasn't easy for all of you, but thank you. This town has become a very, very special place for not only me, but for my wife and my two boys that go to school here and that work here. And we bleed purple, man. I mean, we do. And we were having a great football season this year, and that is a testament to not only what our coaching staff is doing, but the buy-in from our kids, the buy-in from our faculty, the buy-in from our entire community. And that's not just at the high school level, that's trickled down to both middle schools, and I can see it at the elementary school level. And so it takes a village to raise all of these young men, and we wouldn't be able to do it without the support from not only y'all, but everybody in this community. So from the bottom of the Miller family's heart, thank you for believing in us, making the decision to move forward with all of these things. And we're invested, man. We're deep in this thing, and we're not going anywhere. We love it here. We look forward to building on the base foundation that we've set so far. There's still so many things left for us to do. We've just scratched the surface in this town with the success that we'll see for decades. And looking forward to the ride, looking forward to the journey. And Chad said it best, one team, one purpose. We're all in this thing together. And again, from the bottom of my heart and my family, thank you. Thank you very much.
Item 5, invocation and pledge of allegiance.
Good evening, members of the board, Mr. Hagemeyer, Mr. Crow, Mr. Rogers, Mrs. Rogers, sorry. I have with me a few future leaders from Turner Elementary, and the first will be Jack Dukas, who will be leading us in the pledges, followed by Lily Harrison, who will lead us in prayer.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible.
Please bow your heads for prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this beautiful day in Willis, Texas. Thank you for every seat that has been filled here today. Only you know what we are setting out to accomplish today. We have an idea, a vision, hints, and daily instructions. We have talents, abilities, and time to work. However, only you can see in perfect detail the end of every beginning. Please strengthen our hearts to live by your word. Bless this meeting today, all of those present, as well as the lives of those we will encounter afterwards. Ready us to make every moment count. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Amen.
I am honored tonight to introduce you to our District Elementary Student of the Month, a student from Turner Elementary. This young lady is described by her teachers as hardworking, dedicated, and a friend to all. She displays a positive attitude in the face of challenges and always gives her best effort no matter the task. She is kind and helpful to those around her. This young lady is Turner Elementary 5th grader Kylie Keith. It always makes us proud to celebrate our Turner students with you. Thank you for helping us to honor Kylie's diligence and hard work and the example that she sets for others at Turner.
Congratulations.
Good evening, Mr. Crow, members of the board, Mr. Rogers. What an honor is tonight to recognize someone very special to our campus. The last 3 days, I have traveled very, very far. Rosenberg for cheer. I traveled last night to our National Honor Society, inducted 46 members, and there was a face in both places. There's a face that's described by our teachers is sweet and polite, a hard worker, very attentive. She's the varsity cheer captain, also a member of the National Honor Society. She's organized, punctual, polite, respectful, a strong leader who leads passionately. She shows kindness and positivity. One teacher described her as the best one she's had in 20 years of education. This student will enroll next year at Kansas State University. Our student of the month is Miss Akia Gardine.
Item 7, standing information and ad hoc reports. Item A, tips that the interlocal purchasing system purchasing. This item will be tabled at this time. Item B, bilingual and ESL program evaluation report.
Yes, we have a report tonight, and that report is being given by Frida Dodd.
Good evening, Board. Good evening, Mr. Hagemeyer, Mr. Crow, and sweet Mrs. Rogers. My name is Frida Bond, and I'm the bilingual ESL coordinator for our district. Today, I'm going to present to you the program evaluation for the bilingual ESL program. Per Chapter 89, 12.1265, all school districts are required to implement, all school districts required to implement a bilingual education or English as a second language program shall conduct an annual evaluation in accordance with Texas Education Code 29.053. Here in Willis, we have 2 language programs, the Dual Language Immersion One-Way Bilingual Program and the ESL Pull-Out Program. The Dual Language Immersion One-Way is a bilingual and biliteracy program model where students are served in both English and in Spanish and are prepared to meet reclassification no earlier than 6 years and no later than 7 years after the student enrolls in school. This program provides instruction in the partner language, which in our case is Spanish, and in English, by a teacher appropriately certified in bilingual education. The goal of this program is for students to attain bilingualism and biliteracy in English and in Spanish. This model provides ongoing instruction in literacy and in academic content through content-based language instruction in English as well as in Spanish, with at least half of the instruction delivered in the student's primary language for the duration of the program. The ESL program serves students also that are emergent bilinguals through English instruction. This program delivers instruction through content-based language instruction methods provided by an appropriately certified ESL teacher through the English reading or language arts class in a pull-out or inclusionary model. The goal of the ESL pull-out model is for emerging bilinguals to attain full proficiency in English in order to participate equitably in school. This is the number of students that are in both of our language programs, in the bilingual program and in the ESL program. We have currently 1,529 students. Out of those students, 570 are in the bilingual program. 166 of those students in the bilingual program are with a bilingual certified teacher. 404 students are served by a teacher, at least one teacher that is not bilingual certified. The total number of ESL students here in Willis that are in this program are 894. Out of those 894, 657 are with an ESL certified language arts teacher. The other 237 are with a non-certified ESL teacher. Currently, these are the numbers of our students that have been reclassified. Reclassified means that the students have met the state's requirements, passed all the tests, in order to lose their designation as emergent bilinguals. M1 means that they have been out for 1 year out of the emergent bilingual designation. M2, 2 years, and 3 years, etc. 5 means that the students have been out for 5 years or more out of the programs. So I'm going to show you right here the progress in English language proficiency. This is what the state uses, the TELPAS assessment, to show the linguistic progress in the English language. I will be showing you some bar graphs. Okay, this is for grades K through 2nd, and no, time's up. And this is a comparison from the years 2022-2023. All right, this is listening, and this is speaking. And listening, if you see, there was an increase in beginners, the percentage of beginners by 1%, intermediate 3%. Advanced, there was a decrease of 11%, and advanced high of 6% this year. In speaking, there was a bigger increase in beginners of 9%, intermediates and advanced, they decreased, and advanced high, they increased by 2%. In the domains of reading and writing, as you can see, there was a slight decrease in the beginners in reading, a 5% increase in intermediates, a decrease in advanced, and an increase in advanced high in reading. In writing, there was a slight increase in beginners and intermediates, and advanced high. This is for grades 3 through 12 for the same years. In listening, there was a slight increase in beginners. Intermediate and advanced increased by 6% this year, and advanced high decreased by 2%. In listening. Speaking, there was an increase of 5% in beginners, and intermediates 3%, and a decrease in advanced by 7%, advanced high by 1% increase in speaking. The other two domains, reading and writing. In reading, it stayed pretty much the same. There was a slight increase in beginners by 3%. Okay? And in writing, there was a huge increase in beginners by 11%, and a bigger increase of 22% in writing for intermediates. In order to show the academic progress, the state uses STAR, so you will be seeing also some scores for STAR reading first, 3rd through 5th. These scores are, I'm comparing emergent bilinguals to emergent bilinguals in the years of 2022-2023. APP means approaches the next is masters, and and the capital M is masters. Okay, so that's 3rd, 4th, and 5th. As you can see, there was a decrease in 3rd grade reading, 4th grade reading, but an increase in 5th grade by 9.34% in reading, and in meets 2.6%. This is 6 through 8 STAR reading scores for 6, 7, and 8. For 6 in approaches, there was an increase of 9.34%. For meets, 2.6%. There was a huge increase in 7th grade. There was all of them increase, approaches, meets, and masters. As you can see, the meets in 7th grade increased by 12.82%. The next one is the end of course exams for English 1 and English 2. For English 1, there was an increase of 6.1% in approaches, and there was a decrease in meets and masters. In English 2, there was a big increase in approaches by 15.58%, and in meets by 2.29%. In masters for English 2 stayed the same. For algebra, biology, and U.S. history. For algebra, approaches and meets had an increase of at least 7%. Approaches in biology had an increase of 6.76%. And in U.S. history, approaches had a big increase of 11.23%, with a decrease in meets and masters in U.S. history. Okay, so every time we have teachers that are not bilingual certified or ESL certified and they are serving the emerging bilinguals, we have to file a report to the state of how many exceptions and waivers we have. So this year, we filed 16 bilingual exceptions and 46 ESL waivers. So what are we doing about it? Every year we have a comprehensive plan for our teachers to become certified and to also become more knowledgeable in instruction. This year we started off with 2 trainings on September 18th. One of them was geared for bilingual teachers. It was called Toma la Palabra. This training taught the teachers some content-based language strategies that they can implement in their classroom for bilingual students. Also, the same day, we had another trainer. This trainer came, this was geared specifically for teachers that are non-ESL certified. This is also a training that teaches teachers how to instruct emerging bilinguals so that they can become more successful. Every year for the past 2 years, the Bilingual ESL department also has offered after-school trainings throughout the year for specifically the bilingual teachers, and these trainings are over instructional strategies. On October 26th was our first bilingual after-school training. This training covered how to implement a language objective in the classroom based on the content objectives. So this is more, it was more geared towards teaching teachers how to be more intentional to add listening, speaking, reading, and writing in their instruction in order for the students to acquire English and Spanish in the bilingual program. Also this year and last year, we have and have had an instructional bilingual coach that serves the three bilingual campuses, which are C.C. Hardy and Roark and, oh my gosh, Cannon, sorry, and Cannon, yes. This district coach helps teachers also and coaches them on instructional strategies that are targeted for emerging bilingual students. We also have hired at Lynn Lucas, there's an ESL interventionist that specifically works with beginners and intermediates in the English language. So in order to help recruit and also help for the teachers to get certified, Willis ISD contacts all Texas alternative certification programs to recruit possible bilingual teacher candidates. Willis ISD also offers the Grow Your Own Scholarship Program for our district paraprofessionals. Our district also partners with Sam Houston University and provides the EdAid grant program, which allows paraprofessionals to work on acquiring their teacher certifications while they are employed in our district. Willis ISD also partners with Hartwell University to provide paraprofessionals an opportunity to acquire their teaching degree at a low cost. And our district also communicates with Texas A&M counselors about potential College of Education graduates that are seeking teaching positions after graduation. We also attend the Texas A&M job fairs every spring and fall. Willis ISD also attends the Sam Houston Job Fair every spring. And we as a district have conducted our own job fair since 2022 and will keep doing so for the next spring 2024. And finally, we have also partnered since last year with the company Teacher Study Hall, which is a tutoring company that has shown high passing rates for teachers that are working towards their certification in bilingual and ESL. And that concludes my presentation. Thank you. Do you have any questions? Yes, ma'am.
My question is, the 46 teachers that we have on waivers, okay, what grade levels? I mean, is it heavy at the elementary end, the middle school end, the high school end of these teachers that do not have their ESL certifications?
It is all spread out because all the teachers that also teach special education, that teach language arts, they count. So I cannot tell you the exact numbers, but I can tell you, I can come back and tell you what the exact numbers, I do have the numbers.
Okay, what I'm getting at, these 237 kids that are with non-certified ESL teachers. Okay, so they're with one of these 46 teachers.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, one of those 46 teachers that are teaching language arts. Yes, ma'am.
I can add a couple of things. There has been a tremendous issue hiring teachers that are certified for both bilingual and ESL. I think we had that conversation at the beginning of the year. We have very specifically worked with, and to answer your question, the 46, the majority of those are going to be on the secondary campuses.
Secondary?
Because there's no bilingual in secondary, it's all ESL.
Yes, that's right.
However, what we have done this year is provide a very strategic and very focused emphasis on the secondary campuses to bring instructional strategies so that the teachers that are serving those 47, that training that we did at the beginning of the year was specifically for the 47 teachers that are non-ESL certified. Many of those are first-year teachers. So we are going through the process of getting them training this year and helping them with their ESL certification. So it sounds like a huge number, but when you divvy it up by grade levels and by the number of students that are circling through their classes, it is by campus is not quite as big. However, we do need to emphasize that hiring teachers this year that are ESL certified and bilingual certified, if you look at the percentage of bilingual teachers, is incredible. It's almost impossible to get right now. You can have an opening and we get 0 applicants. So I will commend the HR department that has been working with the bilingual and ESL department because the number of ESL certified teachers that are not certified ESL has decreased over the past few years. Our goal is by the end of this year to have, right now we're looking at 46 teachers, many of them being new teachers. In the past we used to have way many more teachers that were not certified. The waivers have gone down even though the number of teachers appears to be so high.
Yeah, because I know in the last probably 6 years we've had a really big push on our teachers. I know especially in the elementary level for them to get their ESL certification.
Now, one thing that we have increased is the fact that we have our special ed teachers. We're counting them because they are serving by ESL students. So they're counted. In the past, we may not have added them to those numbers.
And that's also, we partner with Hartwell University at no cost. They're grant funded, and they provide low tuition to our paraprofessionals where they can get their degree with, depends if they're 2 years out or 4 years out, at an extremely low cost If they need 2 years more of college to get their degree, they're looking at maybe $200 a month. If they're looking at 4 years, they're looking at maybe $100 a month. And they come out with a content certification, ESL certification, and a special ed certification. And I think right now we have about 25 pairs sign up in the fall, and we're trying to get some more in the spring.
Great job.
That's awesome.
Thank you, ma'am.
Item C, Purchasing Cooperative Membership Report.
It's just a report for your review.
Student enrollment.
You can see the 8978. Brad, you cheated and didn't tell me when we did this that it was for October 31st. I wanted to share. So far you have, but I'm changing the rules. I'm superintendent. So.
Item E, Safety Performance Report.
Again, it's a report for your review.
Financial and bill payment.
Same.
Bond project summary.
Same, just the monthly report, where we are with our bond. Bonds.
Item 8, Consent Agenda. Mr. Williams.
Make a motion that we approve the consent agenda as presented.
We have a motion by Mr. Williams, a second by Ms. Traylor. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor? Motion carries 6-0. Item 9, discuss and possible action items. A, discuss and consider reclassification of position in the district.
Mr. Williams.
Thank you, Mr. President, Board, Mr. Crowe, and Ms. Carroll. We're coming to you to reclassify or ask for the reclassification of our leave and substitute clerk into a specialist position. Basically, it's moving into a secretary, from a clerk to a secretary position. We've been asked and looking into moving some of the risk management, the workers' compensation part of risk management from the business office into our leave and substitute position, the person that handles that. With workers' comp, you have a lot of, or sometimes you have leave that ties into that where an employee has to be out. Kind of falls in that area anyway. Even dealing with workers' comp with the business office, even if it's not a leave issue or as they're coming back, they have to communicate with us of whether that employee can come back because of the doctor's release or what's on the doctor's release. So this position will go from a pay grade 6 to a pay grade 7 on the non-exempt pay scale.
Mr. Carson.
I'll make the motion that we accept the superintendent's recommendation to approve the reclassification of the position listed above.
We have a motion by Mr. Carson, a second by Mr. Jones. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Motion carries 6-0. Item B, discuss, consider approval of mentor coordinators to attend National Mentoring Annual Summit in Washington.
Our mentors, Ms. Elmore and Ms. Eckert, have requested to attend the National Mentoring Summit in Washington, D.C. It takes board approval for out-of-state travel. Learned that it's about $2,200, and being involved in the mentor program myself, I can tell you they've done a great job, and it's a real service to a lot of our kids. So anything they can do to grow that program, I'm all for it.
Perfect. Mr. Carson.
I move that we accept the superintendent's recommendation to approve the out-of-state trip for the Willis ISD Mentor Program Coordinators attend the National Mentoring Summit in Washington, D.C.
We have a motion by Mr. Carson, a second by Mr. Williams. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Motion carries 6-0. Item C, discuss and consider approval of A.R. Turner Elementary flooring and paint upgrades bond 2020 project.
Mr. Goosemout.
Yes, sir. Good evening, Board, Mr. Crowe, Ms. Rogers. I'm going to ask you to join us on the continuing journey of completing 2020 bond projects, and the one we are presenting to you this evening is going to be some interior work at A.R. Turner. which will involve interior painting, some exterior painting, also some tile and carpet work. Our plan is to begin some of the simple stuff, which would be after school-ish as soon as possible, and then complete the rest of it during the summer coming up. And the proposal we are bringing to you tonight for your approval is in the amount of $2,197,241, and we are asking your approval.
Mr. Carson.
I move that the board accept the superintendent's recommendation to expend $2,197,241 from bond 2020 issue funds for the upgrades of the flooring and painting at A.R. Turner Elementary.
We have a motion by Mr. Carson, a second by Mr. Jones. Is there any further discussion?
Yeah, real quick, that's all within the same budget on the 2020, nothing was different, that's a great job again.
And it's under what our projected budget is.
That's awesome, and I appreciate the graphs with the square footage, though, great job.
Thank you, sir.
We have a motion by a second. All those in favor? Motion carries.
Thank you.
6-0. All right, item 10, board member comments. I got anything? Make it short and sweet. I think tonight that as a board and as a community, we did the right thing for Coach Miller and his family. I will tell you, for the rest of you sitting out there that are district employees, I want you to know that as soon as the state figures out what we're doing, if we've got to have a special meeting, as soon as I call Garrett and Garrett says, yes, we can do it, we're going to do it. We know that you are all deserving and you all put in countless hours that you're not paid for. Do not think that it does not go unnoticed. I'm 48 years old and I've probably lost sleep about 3 nights in my life, and they've been within the last 3 weeks because my mom taught 2nd grade and I had to call and ask her thoughts. It's not something that we take lightly, but at the end of the day, for where we're at in our community, what Coach Miller has brought to this, it didn't have a whole lot to do with 10-0. It had a whole lot to do for me with what my son learned about being a man last year. And so I appreciate each of you. I appreciate your dedication to the district as much or more than I appreciate Coach Miller's. And I want you to know that as soon as we get the state figured out, some of that will be going towards your direction, because we do appreciate you.
Absolutely.
Future business meetings.
Wednesday, December 13th, regular board meeting. Mike Moses had indicated that they could come in like the 28th or 29th of November and start planning with y'all for the superintendent search. So he's going to send me the times and dates, and then I'll get it to you guys, see what works with you.
Mr. Williams?
Make a motion, we adjourn. Second.
We have a motion by Mr. Williams, a second by Mr. Carson. All those in favor? Motion carries 6-0. Thank you all. It is 7:06 p.m.